Hey guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank. Balloons, balloons. Was that because of the peace sign? We'll find out later. So anyway, how you doing? We're back with Batman issue 2. All right, when we last left off, Batman was getting into like his new suit, and we're seeing sort of the new look on Gotham City, the new car, the new gadgets, and as well as sort of him see exactly how Gotham City's changed this time, especially with, Commissioner Savage. And I think what people are going to have to accept about this fraction run is that we are going to deal with Commissioner Savage, which I think it's been well overdue. So yeah, that's great. It's great. So anyway. So we get a flashback to Wayne Manor, and Bruce is getting ready to take Tim out to learn to drive. And he's like, the Batmobile? No. A truck. All right. These big old stubborn trucks. Yeah. Best way to learn. Best way to learn. And Tim's a bit nervous. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. It is a big deal. Damien is being Damien. All right. Which is sort of weird because I think they've de-aged him for this flashback in regards, especially how everything works. Because I could have sworn Tim was old enough to drive when Damien got here. Like he was already driving. But I could be wrong. But anyway, we go to the present. Um, a bunch of anarchy thugs are hijacking a truck, and it sort of gets a bit out of hand, namely when one of the anarchy thugs shoots the driver. I guess he moved or something. One was like, hey, this wasn't supposed to happen. We're going to do this. I don't think anyone's bothered to mention that like they are anarchy thugs because they draw anarchy on the truck. But anyway, Tim shows up, apprehends the guy, and he's like, okay, so what you got here? Drugs, reefer, crack, smack, horse, shrooms, meth, baby formula. Yeah, it's for my kids. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, the police show up. Tim's like, okay, hey man, let's be cool here, all right. The criminal, it's still a crime, um, runs off. The officer shoots him while he's running. Now, let's be clear as to exactly when the police can shoot a fleeing suspect. All right, if the suspect is to be deemed a clear and present danger to people, in other words, like if he's running around with a knife, the knife is out, or he is still shooting randomly, yeah, the police can shoot him, but he's just running away. You don't get to shoot a fleeing suspect if they aren't a danger to anybody. Um, Tim points this out, like, and he's like, "Hey man, I ain't gonna take this from you." Like, he's clearly everything you don't like about the cops. And Robin goes like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm out of here." Ooh, smoke bomb, bat boots, magnetized shoes. As Tim gets up, he gets shot. Oh, I'm like, okay, okay. He gets thrown into the police wagon. Uh, and there's a whole bunch of other thugs. Are these all anarchy thugs? No, just thugs, just thugs. And you're like, hey, let's rough this kid up. And really, what they're doing is, as they drive through, like, hey, you know what? We only handcuffed Robin, so we're just gonna go a bit of a fun ride as he lets the other criminals rough him up. This is also the officer apparently trying to prove to Commissioner Savage that he doesn't need like that they can't be replaced by his other personal police force. I was like, okay, what does this prove? The other officer's like, look, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. This feels like almost like we're trying to go into Freddie Gray's death, who died in a police car. No, he died in an ambulance, I think. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm not going to speak on that. Tim has to remind people that he is him. All right, handcuffs do not slow him down, even in a moving car. All right, with a bunch of other thugs who are not handcuffed. He goes in, remembers, hey, my dad was in Arkham City, and he breaks out of the handcuffs. Love it. As he, gives him the business. Luckily, Batman shows up here with his bat spikes to, cause the proverbial accident. Well, not the accident, but just to stop the vehicle. And he's like, hey, you all right, Robin? Like, yep. It's worse for them, worse for them. As they get out of the car, the officers come in, apprehend him, and it's like, "Hey, don't move, freaks!" Like, Robin goes, "Careful, Batman! That one shot a fleeing suspect in the back, killed him, and shot me too." Like, I'm like, "Oh, okay, say less." You're like, "Do it again if I gotta." Him too. I ain't afraid. He's like, "Dude, dude." He's like, "Ray, come on." You're stupid. And he turns it. He turns the gun on his partner. You're on their side. You're on their side now. Known criminals, vigilantes. He's like, what are you talking about? They're on our side. Batman makes a hard line here. I'm sorry. Police brutality and murder puts us on opposite sides. Officers. All right. he, the officer goes, says the vigilante as he points to get at him. And then the other guy's like, Eddie, what are you doing? I swear to God, man. This is so weird. Now, to be fair, Bruce is said, Batman's sort of saying, like, hey, look, police brutality and murder. We're not on the same side. I'm sorry. Shooting um harmless fleeing suspects, yeah, no. Brutalizing criminals already in custody, yeah, no, no. I don't do that. Like I don't rough people up once I put them in the Batmobile. All right. Before that, open season. But even then, you're like once they've been apprehended, it's done. We don't rough them up further. But anyway, so it goes through. I'm like, what is going on? Like, okay, gun at him, gun at him. Batman and Robin go in, like, okay, make the move, pow, 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 disarm, and we're good. But yeah, he's still shot. The other officer was still shot, and apparently, oh my God, Steve is just a sore loser. He takes a pot shot at Batman. Luckily, the cowl uh, takes away most of it, but that's definitely still a problem he needs to get looked at. We then get a flashback back to Tim's driving lesson, and it's sort of pointed out that Tim has a problem that I think a lot of new drivers have, or at least when they're learning. That was definitely for me. Like he's inside his own head too much. He's panicking. All right, and he's thinking like, okay, what if there comes a time when I need to drive you? All right, and I'm in the Batmobile. It's one of the most awesome cars in the world, and I and I choke. All right, I'm keep telling myself don't choke, which doesn't help me. I just start choking. It doesn't work. But Bruce's like, look, Tim, it's gonna be fine. All right, and there's no one else I'd rather have by my side when that happens than you. This is sort of an interesting thing because I think it sort of has to cement the fact that before Damien, um, Tim was the default Robin for years. Right, he was Batman's main sidekick. He was Robin longer than Dick Grayson. All right. And he was a sort of like he said, like, I know Batman better than anybody. All right, he's gonna make it. He took the mantle seriously. And so and he also had like these sort of these insecurities, like, what if I'm not good enough? Because even sort of leading up to him becoming Robin was more about the fact, look, we'll find someone else to be Robin. We'll try to get Dick Grayson to do it. He never saw it as like he has to be Robin. Or like he needs to be Robin. It's like, no, it's the job needed to be filled, so he volunteered. But anyway. So, he gets him back. He like, you all right? You all right? Yeah, I'm fine. But we gotta go. All right. So he patches up the other officers. The officers best they could with bat bandages, because of course. And into the Batmobile, we turns out that the Batmobile has 13 gears. All right. What do you need 13 gears for? First of all, lower your voice. I've been shot. Um, so we've got nine standard gears, or three quantum gears in case we get you know, DC University, and a secret gear. All right. Tim is like, secret gear. Okay, what does that even mean? It means this is the coolest car in the world, and you know it. So as they drive off, we get the media comes in. I do love this. Seems to be a through line. Hopefully we'll see more of it. Is we get the news reporting on exactly what happened in one form or another. This is also when Vandal Savage starts to show his ass as he comes in to see the crime scene. He's like, you know what? I want the media out of here, break their cameras, and hurt them if need be. I'm like, okay. So fascist state. All right. Now, here's the thing. I get it. The media can be annoying, especially for police officers trying to do their job. But if they're all staying, where they need to be, and as long as they don't cross the police tape, I don't see this as a problem. So, yeah, I don't, yeah, it's whatever. But then again, I'm pretty sure those aren't actual the officers so much. They're just savages people. When Savage sees, like, yeah, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I need. He now goes up and is like, hey, you know what? So this proves that Batman and Robin are enemies of the police. All right. And I am now declaring them public enemies, number one. All right. Any problem with that? Yeah, look, call someone to arrest me. Look, the mayor, the previous commissioners, those guys may have had a relationship and understanding with Batman. I'm not here to do that. All right. I have no patience for grown men dressed as bats. All right. I have no patience for children dressed as, they say it's a Robin, but outside of the color scheme, I don't see it. Uh, anyone that's a problem with this, well, you know what? Call the other mayor, call the new mayor, tell him to arrest me. All right, and that's how the comic ends. I'm like, okay, okay. So again, I like this direction. Um, the fan base seems a bit polarized by it. Other people think like this is the greatest thing ever. Like this is mediocre. I'm like, is it? Is it? It's issue two. It's issue two. Come on now. See, it doesn't trigger the balloons. Okay. Um, so I don't quite get this sort of why it's so complicated. It's not like the GCPD have always been a shining beacon of professionalism and ethics. Also, again, Vandal Savage is police commissioner. All right, I don't know what world we thought we were going to have to deal with this. Really, this has been a problem with the Batman comic for a while, and I've been complaining about that for a while. Um, a lot of things that have been going on in Batman books, major status quo changes, have been settled off screen or like sort of not at Batman's insistence, like the whole Mayor Nakano thing and the magistrate was never really felt like it was handled by Batman. Mayor Nakano was shot by Commissioner Gordon, which is Jim Gordon, shot and killed by Commissioner Gordon. Um, that's how that was dealt with. Vandal Savage sort of came in as commissioner after Renee Montoya was deposed. Even the magistrate never really felt like it was properly dealt with. But then again, that was a whole future state problem. Um, like the last thing, like we actually saw Batman deal with that wasn't, oh, this is technically caused by me, was what Joker War, Fear State, and those were interesting stories. But I think they were really carried by Jorge Menez's art, um, and then anything in the writing. But I am currently doing a reread of all of that, so we'll see, we'll see. Um, I like the focus on Tim this issue. Batman coming in stating like, "Hey, this is where I draw the line of working with the police." Even Savage himself mentions, "Hey, look, the Mayor Nakano, had no relationship with Batman. He did not like Batman. Um, Montoya dealt with Batman. Like, look, you're here. Just go. And I don't look. We're not calling you anymore. Um, and of course, we all know Batman and Commissioner Gordon. Those were great. Even Batman and Commissioner Bullock for that short period of time was good. Um, but I actually don't think Batman ever had a good relationship with the mayor, or at least any relationship with the mayor that I can recall. At most, it was him and the DA. But yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how we're gonna deal with this story because I think we should always be using these stories for interesting and thought-provoking commentary if we can. All right, not before the story itself. Story has to come before any sort of political message. If you don't have a good story, if you don't wow the people, then what was the point? You've just bored them and you've probably lectured at them. And audiences hate being lectured at. They like to be informed. Overall, though, I'm liking this. Um, the blues sort of growing on me. Tim's costume I think was nice. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We're rambling again. Anyway, with that in mind, brings to a close. If you're new to the Bug Think, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, smash the thumbs up button, and I'll catch you all later. This is Bug Think signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may fandom serve you well.